Hello everyone, hopefully you are doing well. In today's video, I'm gonna share with you some practical tips that will help you speak fluently and sufficiently. Yes, sufficiently. But before that, I would like to tell you something. I would like you to rest assured, and also I would like you to feel comfortable, especially if you have a reasonable number of vocabulary. If you have a reasonable number of vocabulary, I would like you to be sure and certain that you are not far away from the solution, that you are not far away from fluency. Because I was in your place and I used to struggle with speaking too. I used to have a lot of vocabulary, but still find it challenging and hard to express, articulate myself. I know how hard it is, how bad it is, how painful it is when you have a lot of vocabulary, but you still cannot express yourself very well. I know how hard it is, how painful it is when you see someone with less vocabulary than you, but he or she can express, articulate him or herself very well. I have got you the solution. And I think I'm the right person to tell you what you should exactly do. Let's get started. The first tip I would like to share is, I'm sure and certain that you have a reasonable number of vocabulary. But what I'm not sure about is if you know these vocabulary very well or not. If you don't, I would like you to go back to each vocabulary you have and try to learn it very well. You may ask me how you can do that. Here is how. I would like you to go back to each vocabulary and try to look for all the situations where this particular vocabulary can be used. And through these situations, I would like you to learn all the meanings this particular vocabulary can convey. Because the same vocabulary can convey or can have different meanings depending on the context. In this case, what we are doing, we are telling our brain that vocabulary is not something fixed, but something flexible. Pay attention to this. In this way, we are getting our brain not partly aware of something, but fully aware of something. And this is what we call deep learning. Speaking always wants you to follow deep learning, not superficial learning. Speaking always wants you to learn things inside out and not to ignore something or underestimate anything about a particular thing. Translation and definition is not enough once or when you are preparing yourself to speak, when your aim or your objective is fluency. Let's move to tip number 2. Tip number 2 needs you to have a lot of control over yourself. If you manage to do that, or to do what I'm about to share, I'm certain that you will notice a visible progress at the level of your speaking. I would like you to repeat whatever you come to watch, whatever you come to read, whatever you come to listen to, as many times as possible. Repeat the same thing as many times as possible. If you manage to control your brain to do that for you, I'm sure and certain you will get your speaking ability to the next level. You may ask me why. Why this is essential? Why this is very rewarding? Here is why. Because when we repeat the same thing again and again, what happens? We get sure first about the vocabulary we expose ourselves to. Number 2, which is more important, we get very familiar with sentence patterns, question patterns, and also phrase and expression patterns. Listen, speaking is not only about vocabulary. Speaking also is about patterns, about phrases, about expressions. If you are not quick enough, if you are not fast enough in constructing and forming phrases, questions, sentences, this will make you problems and will make it hard for you to speak fluently and sufficiently. And this is why repetitive learning is essential, is useful, is helpful, because it gives you the opportunity to get very familiar with a lot of patterns. And what is essential? It helps you get sure about these patterns to the level that you will be able to come up or to form or to generate the same patterns very quickly. This is what speaking is about. Number three tip is I would like you to cut off any distraction. In other words, I would like you to expose yourself to only English. How? For example, any to unfollow anyone who is posting in your mother tongue and start following only people who are posting in English. This will give you an opportunity to expose yourself to a lot of English content. And this is not easy. This is very helpful. Got it? If you manage to follow, to apply these practical tips, I guarantee your ability to speak just like me. I have a lot of other things to share, but I don't want to overwhelm you. Give these things first a try, and then we can move to something more advanced or to some things more advanced that will help you get fluent, that will help you get very satisfied about your English, about your way of speaking. That's all. Have a nice day. Bye.